What are we doing here, buddy?
Put that lift up a little bit.
It didn't work.
Look at that, kind of quick. We'll see how it works.
This car's pretty solid.
Oh, it's not bad. What package is this front?
New rear end. New transmission. Is transmission leak? 500 mile. Yeah, I could. That was pretty good. Day one complete. Guys did me a solid. Got the bar upstairs. Got the joist rebuilt. Gonna cut me in a sunroof here because it's a decently nice view. Looks good. This roof's a mess. They said whoever built this did such a shitty job, did it so cheaply, that they're surprised it withstood the impact. They got this big, the lull, 1990, absolute unit. Good looking unit for sure. So, good first day. Tomorrow they'll build the rafters, and I mean, I think there's a chance they're done by the end of the week. Hello. It's been a while. Welcome back. It is June. Last time you saw this project was on an engine stand right there in February and May, aka March. I don't know. A lot has happened. Tree fell through the garage. That's been resolved, and had to take some time off to do this project. We're getting there. I'm not there yet. It's hot up here. I'm going back downstairs. But we're back on the Grand Avenue. And it has not been a smooth and easy process. As you can see, we're not quite there yet. The oil pump is back off, priming it right here. Not getting oil to the top end. Some oil came out of the cooler lines. You see with the blue tape there, and then the bottom one is hiding. But we cannot get oil to the valve covers, to the rockers, to the oil fill line for the turbo. That light just keeps freaking going out and on. I'm gonna kill it. Trying to prime it the old school way, pack it with Vaseline. That didn't work. I think I found my problem. On the oil pressure relief valve, there is this plunger that goes to the end of the spring. That was not installed. I don't know what happened. I forgot to reinstall it. I actually couldn't find it. Was trying to find a new one. Took this bucket out, and sitting right in the corner next to that cigar. I don't even know why that's in there. So, gonna put it all back together. Try and reprime it. Hopefully, if that goes well, we'll reset the cam sensor, which is somewhere. Okay, I lost the cam sensor. That's good. Oh, here it is. Reset the cam sensor. Can show you how to do that quick. It's pretty easy. Thanks to YouTube and watching other people's videos. Turbo Buicks 101. Thank you. And we'll go from there. We'll try and start it maybe today. It's Friday, June 4th. If not, tomorrow is Saturday. It's supposed to be beautiful out. Almost everything else is done. I don't know what the last thing you would have saw. Just to recap, initially pulled it for a leaky rear main and the valve covers leaked. Ended up swapping on the factory turbo. We have, can't even really see them, but we got upgraded injectors. Those are 60-pound units. Also broken injector clip. Spent $20 to find new injector clips, and turns out in this bucket of parts here, had 6 replacements, so another waste of money. Good. This car is gonna sink me. Still have to put in the chip, and then once it's up and running, we'll nurse it down to the other garage that has lifts, and we'll put on the fuel pump and the hot wire kit, which are right there, and then this car should be ready to rip for the summer. Now, if it doesn't get oil pressure, I don't know what the hell to do. So instead of repacking it with Vaseline, I'm going to show you a trick that the turbo guys use. Pretty neat little trick. I do have to charge my drill, and hopefully we'll get pressure pretty quick. So we'll see you in a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. Okay, we have a lot of oil pressure. Half a quart worth. So anyway, it's pretty wild how to prime compared to something like this, where you got to pump the pack, fill the pack with Vaseline, the oil pump in here with the 2 gears. Turbo or GNTtype.org, which is a Turbo Buick like technical article website that's been around since the late 90s, has this pump procedure on it where you take the top line of the oil cooler line here, this one that I have taped, and you put 3 quarts of oil in it, and then you take a quart of oil and you grab a cap, which don't know what I do with my cap. Essentially you take the cap, right, and you cut an X in it, and you install the cap onto the oil cooler line, and then you thread a full quart of oil on it, and you flip it upside down. You put like a couple of rags underneath so it catches the slop, and then you just watch it drain. You run the pump counterclockwise, and that'll fill everything instead of priming it with Vaseline like I tried the first time. So then what happens? Seal it back up, put the additional 1.5 quarts of oil in. You should also fill the oil filter as much as you could. Take this line, install it, put the remaining quarts of oil in that you have, and you run the pump clockwise like it should. And what you see there is everything that just came out of this turbo oil line. So clearly it's got oil pressure to the top. Before I would spin this pump for 2+ minutes and it wouldn't get anything. I haven't checked the rockers yet. This valve cover is actually off, so I got to run, but when I come back later, I will check and make sure everything's good. All right, about to do the first start. Have the ECM wire disconnected. Gonna turn the key on, make sure the fuel pump kicks on, and look for leaks. And then if that all goes well, we'll try starting it. Okay, this one is for my Poppy Woo on my test track here. Just adjusted the wastegate. I think we definitely got some boost coming now. Oh my God. Hello, welcome back. It is August. For those of you watching these videos get uploaded in real time, you're probably totally thrown off by the timeline here. I think in the first video I said it started in February and it was going to be back on the road at the end of March. It got back on the road like end of June. I don't even remember. But since then, it's been nothing but problems. We talked about performance upgrades. That's all been done. New fuel injectors, upgraded fuel pressure regulator, stock turbo, new chip. Which leads us to our next problem. These cars from the factory do not get enough voltage. So actually, the video you saw prior of me getting on it for the first time with the new upgrades, you saw the volt light come on. This is the factory alternator. On the first start, you heard it squealing. You can kind of still hear it now. Not exactly sure what's going on. I don't know if there's just dirt in it or something, but regardless, we got a parts store replacement from AutoZone. It's the only one we can find in the country. We are not typically buying parts through AutoZone, but that was the only thing we can get. And it cannot hold the 120 amp requirement to power this car. So when we did the fuel pump upgrade, which is what our current problem is, I don't have fuel pressure, dropped the tank, and from the factory, these cars do not get enough voltage to the fuel pump. They're supposed to get like 13 amps at a minimum. They don't. 13 volts, excuse me. So what we did was run a hot wire, which is a really common upgrade. This is a hot wire kit. It's got a built-in fuse. It's got a massive relay underneath. It's plug and play, super easy to do, especially if you have a lift like we did. So when we use that old alternator, put the hot wire in the upgraded fuel pump. Thought it would be fine. Car fired right up. Everything seemed to be going well. I put 7 gallons of gas in it and I started it and everything was good. Put about 15 miles on it. You could hear the pump turn on, but it will not prime. I have no idea why. There is no fuel pressure. If I put the fuel pressure gauge on it, which I'm not going to do, there's just no fuel pressure. And the problem with these cars is if you don't have the right alternator, you can lean things out really quick. You can lean out your injectors. They won't get the right signal. You could blow this thing up. So this is a correct replacement alternator from Carbon Performance for a 120 amp system. It's not cheap. It was like 240 bucks. Swapped this on, was ready to take the car for a ride, put the hot wire back on, car won't start. Since then I've had problems. There's a number of things that could be wrong. The pump could be dead, but I'm hoping there's a little 1/4 inch hose that you put in there, and I didn't tighten them. My dad says they're tightened. I believe him. I'm hoping that it just somehow slipped or there's a slit in it or it's something easy. Regardless, I have to drop the tank. So let's see how much gas we have in it. 10 gallons. Great. I'm going to try and get 6 of that out. You'll see all that. We'll get the tank dropped, figure out what's going on, and we will go from there. Here's what I'm talking about, the hot wire kit that runs to the front of the car. We ran it with the fuel lines going up the driver's side rail. It's got this big relay here. Here is the factory fuel pump harness that plugs into there, and then this one plugs right up there. You ground it. So I don't think that's the problem. I think it's a pump problem. These are pretty easy to take out. 13 millimeter bolt there, I believe. 13 up here to drop the tank enough to be able to get to the lines, which are up there. So wish me luck. I'm scared. Got one. This should be the return line, I believe. If all goes well here, this should go down nice and easy. Could have been worse. It's not bad. Okay. Good. Minimum spillage. This was actually the toughest line, which I think is the return or the vent. I don't remember. The factory put 2 clamps on the fuel line, the main line, whatever it's called, the pump line. I don't know where they went. They're somewhere down there, but gonna get the sending unit out, see what is the verdict. Draining fuel out of it now. Gonna get into that can and then into the big can. I'm stumped. I have no idea what's going on. I thought might be a little slice in this hose which would cause it to lose prime. Verified the wires are right. Pump didn't move. It makes noise, you heard it on the video, so I'm just gonna assume pump is bad somehow. Don't know. Here we are. Gravity is wild. What a concept. Look at that flow. Can't wait for this to dump all over my crock. Needed them clean though. It's Friday morning. Tank is back in with a factory replacement style pump. Use the same wiring as the 255 liter per hour Walboro unit. It's got a horrible sock on it. Hopefully that stays good for what we need it to do. Gonna get the fuel lines lined back up in. I'm not even gonna test it. It's gonna be good. He says now. Hey. Come on. I need a jack. Oh, jack stands so close. Hey, hell yeah. I am so confident that it's going to work. I put the car down, put most of the gas back in it. Let's hope we hear a prime. It primed. There we go. The ECU is relearning, hence why it's running a little weird. Should be fine in 5-6 minutes. About 37, 38 pounds of fuel pressure. Smooth right out, like I said. Running good. All right, I've driven this car for a little bit now, but you really haven't much, so let's go for a ride.
You're always trying to get rid of me in this car.
What do you think?
Nice and tame right now, though. I think you got me a trick going on here.
What do you mean? I'm not. There's no
You
trick.
might have did something to it.
I turned up the boost.
Did you really?
No. Hey, buddy.
Okay. Any cops on him?
You didn't even put it in boost.
I don't want to. I'm afraid. What's the speed limit here? The cops are tougher.
Car ride's nice though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. You can't curse on YouTube, buddy.
The windows up or what? You hear better. It goes in the booth so much faster than the old.
Air conditioning works. Tell them about our issue, why we don't have any dash lights right now.
When this car was smashed, it couldn't even shift the transmission. I took it apart one day just to adjust it. Maybe it was the wire touching. Or I was thinking the harness might be a pinching the wires because you remember the wires for the lights were all pulled apart.
Yeah, you're right. Could be.
So we'll have to go over that. We're getting there.
I mean, hey, for being as hard as it was, car ride's dead straight.
Straight. The Grand National replacement frame came in handy.
Nice Pennsylvania countryside.
You shut the parking lights off. Oh, we're at 53.
Yeah, if you shut the lights off. We have 176 miles on this new fuel pump, so we've been driving it. It's just
Which way do you want me to go?
go.
Left, right?
Yeah, go left, go up.
He's a car enthusiast, that's for sure.
Who is?
That label.
Oh, that's his garage?
This is his business. Yeah, that's his garage. His business is in the back.
Yeah, but where's the garage set up? There's no car coming.
Yeah, what is it? Shut here?
Hold on. Monte Carlo,
Monte Carlo.
7072. I saw Project One today. He gave us the wave.
Yeah. Where's Grant label?
Yeah, but we
And
must-
that's what he did.
How long's that business been there?
He's been here about 22 years.
Yeah, this garage is unbelievable.
Well, buddy, fill it up.
Was that 66?
What's that?
Nissan 300ZX or whatever it was?
What?
A little bit.
Turn around. These cars love these old country roads over these hills.
You and I drive this car so different.
Yeah, because you beat it.
No, I never beat
The
it.
car was slim.
I let it breathe.
Keep it breathing. Drive it right.
Let's see how hot we're running. $170.
No deer crossing. We're good. Wow.
Oh, why would you? See, now you get on it. Thank you guys for watching. This concludes Buick Grand National Series for now. Some more stuff might be coming. Next video will be on my 1970 Buick that we just broke, and then have some more stuff coming. Please consider doing all the things: liking, subscribing, commenting if you want. If you hate it, you could tell us, that's okay. But we have much more to come. We'll probably let the viewers pick the next revival video, quite a few cars that unfortunately we've neglected. So we will have that video coming, as well as the 1970 Buick that, again, is now broken. So thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon.